I don't know. No. Okay. Anyway. Okay. We'll just we'll just take that.
Okay.
Anyway. So. Okay.
I'm not editing that out.
Okay. Anyway. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to be talking about how we met. The story of how we met.
Yes, and it's a very beautiful story. Two people who had nothing to do with their lives decided to try something new and found love.
Where?
I'm kidding. Well, it's true. Two people, we were doing absolutely nothing. We found love. We found love in a hopeless place. Actually, we did not find love in a hopeless place. We actually found love in the best place that you can find love, and that is online.
Yes.
Yes. Chaz and I, we met on Christian Mingle back in the fall of 2014.
Yep.
And let's just say we've been married for 3 years, so we get the question a lot if online dating works.
Does it really work?
So my answer to that is it works if you want it to work. I do know that there are creeps online, and I do know that some things, some unfortunate things happen online, but I'm so grateful that that is not our story. She was actually creeping on my page.
Wow,
and she
really?
came across all of this chocolate. Oh yes, she did.
Okay, you guys, I will say this. I was so against
We both
any
were.
sort of like online dating for the longest time, and only because you just hear the creepy stories of girl going to coffee shop and then murdered the next day or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's just those creeps out there.
Eerie vibes. But not over here. Not over here.
So I'll just start. So where I was, so October of 2014, that year, I actually, before I met Devin, there were 6 guys that came into my life. Literally, I was single for 6 years, and all of a sudden, there in 2014, it was like God was equipping me, that He was preparing me for
this.
my husband, and that's what I told my best friend. So I'll never forget. We were training for the Twin Cities Marathon in Minneapolis, Minnesota that year, and it was like, as we were training and running these miles together,
she was running after me.
I kept telling her that I was like, man, like, I don't know, all of a sudden I'm single for, for 6 years, and then, these guys just, came out of the woodworks, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but all I could say, and what I kept saying was, I just believe that God is preparing me. So that's, and, I'll share more about that, more details in a later on video. But I just, honestly, you guys, I just woke up one day and I just felt prompting from God for me to make myself a profile on Christian Mingle, and so that's what I did. I didn't immediately jump on that just because I wanted to make sure that, okay, God, this is what you have for me, and this is what you want me to do. And so I'll never forget, it was on a Sunday night that I made myself a little profile.
She went to church.
Made myself a little profile,
yes,
okay? Yes. And on Christian Mingle, and actually it was that very night that I came across Devin.
Oh yes, she did.
And I'll never forget. So when I was filling out like the compatibility section, and I'm just gonna say this, I'm just gonna say this, I have not tried any other dating sites, and so I cannot comment, or I can't say that, oh, Christian Mingle is the best, because I don't know. I don't know. So it's, you know, you don't know, you don't know. And from my experience, I just made myself a Christian Mingle profile and that's it. So, there's a certain amount of like, okay, I want to search profiles within, you know, 50-mile radius or whatnot. And so for me, like, I just put, okay, I want to find, you know, someone within the United States. And so in that moment, like, my prayer was, God, if you have a husband for me that is not within, you know, Minnesota where I was living at the time, God, that you have to make a way, and you have to do something that I cannot, because I felt rooted. I felt, gosh, I wasn't moving, but I was open to, like, okay, God, if you have, you know, somewhere else for me, you know, then, you know, I have to meet him elsewhere, and you know, you're gonna have to orchestrate a move for me. So yeah, do you want to talk about you?
Yeah, so
where were you?
I was actually in Tampa, Florida, home of the Devil Rays, and interesting how I ended up online. I was actually working at a doctor's office at the time, and my coworkers were trying to find someone a date. Try to find one of my other coworkers a date on an online website, and they were just scrolling through different profiles, and I was like, yeah, this is just, you know, kind of weird. Why are people doing online dating? And I just left it alone. And then I went home that night and I pondered on online dating. I'm like, I wonder if this like really works. And I'm gonna see. So this was July actually of 2014. And I remember going on Christian Mingle, creating a profile. I perused, you know, different, you know, profiles, you know, for like a week. And then I'm like, okay, this is so stupid. Like, how am I gonna sound, you know, telling people that I found somebody online? Like, I think that's like super creepish, whatever. So I stopped going online. That was the end of it. And then let's fast forward to October. A thought, a premonition, if would, you know, came into, you know, I heard a voice say, Devin, and I said, huh? It said, what about Christian Mingle? And I was not thinking about Christian Mingle. I wasn't thinking about dating anyone. I don't think, you know, 5 years later, just thinking about it. I would think I was, you know, trying to look for someone at the time. But that night, I remember going home and paying, I think it was like the monthly, whatever, like $33 a month. And it's like, I'm going to try this for 1 month. I'm going to pay for it. Put $33. See, there's a lot that happens with 33. Jesus died at 33 and resurrected at 30. 3 days later. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to turn this into a thing. I'm kidding.
Sermon.
I'm kidding. Don't take what I say as serious. So I paid the money, and I think I was on it for a week. Yeah. I was on it for a week, and then all of a sudden, an angel came. Yeah.
So I will say this. Can I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I will say this. So I messaged Devin. Yes.
Oh,
I
yes, you did.
messaged Devin first, okay?
And here's why. Here's why she messaged me. Because when I did my profile, I set it up for 50 miles. So I know that living in Tampa, I would not go past Orlando, or I would not find someone, you know, further than Orlando, at least, going like northeast, or I think if I was going south, like Bradenton or something. I don't know. But it would have been relatively close to where I lived. I never thought that I would find someone like 1,200 miles away in Minnesota, in the tundra. But I did. So that's the only reason why she was able to find my profile and, you know, be sweet on the prince.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I will admit too. So when you filter your search for the amount of miles that you want to be within, these people of the opposite sex. Anyway. So I messaged Devin. I messaged Devin first, and to be honest with you, I don't know if what is proper. What you think, like, whoa, Chaz, how could you do that? It's like, isn't the guy supposed to message the girl first? I don't know. But I think this is what I'll share my approach, and take it or leave it. So when I messaged Devin, I'll say this. So the profiles that I came across, you could tell whether a guy is looking for a good woman, and you can tell some of the profiles that when guys are looking for a godly woman. And you can just tell based on some of the profiles too, that when someone really put a lot of time and effort into really sharing about themselves, really sharing their heart, this is who I am, whatever. And what Devin wrote, like, there was a lot of meat to him, and I ain't talking
I was
okay?
heavier back then.
No. I ain't talking about that. I mean, like, what he wrote, like, was it caught my attention, and he really shared his heart. And so what I did was I just had wrote him a message, and I just said, hey Devin, I just wanted to let you know that I found your profile was really encouraging, and I really appreciate meeting people like you who have a passion for the next generation. Hope it's a great day, or something like that. Just a short message. I purposely did not include a question in there, only because I was not expecting something back.
She knew what she was doing.
Okay, anyway, so I was not expecting something back, and if he was not interested in me, then I just knew that I just encourage someone of the opposite sex today, and leave it at that, and whatever. And lo and behold, he messaged me back.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. So when I saw that message, because I think that was, what day did you message me?
Oh, I don't know. I still have her messages, you guys.
She saved every message.
Everyone.
Yes.
I printed them out.
Yeah.
So I still read them.
Yes, you do. That's weird. But that's even more weird. But anyways.
No, it's not. When I messaged you?
Yeah, so when she messaged me, what intrigued me the most is the fact that she did not make a comment concerning, oh, you're this. I mean, I'm not the best looking thing, but I'm some hot chocolate, okay?
Oh, okay. You better say that again.
There was no compliment, concerning that, because, I want to be able to converse with someone who knows how to have a conversation, and we live in the age where social media runs everything, and it's all just surface level. There's no depth. Yeah. So. I appreciated that, and it piqued my interest, so we continue to have conversations. And I think what ended up happening afterwards. Go ahead.
Can I just and that same thought for me. I'd get messages from guys that would comment about my beauty, or like my eyes or whatever, and it's like, come on, like, there's more to me than what you see in a picture or whatever. That I just was like so turned off.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with a guy like complimenting you on like your physical beauty, but also at the same time, like, did you even read? Like, I wrote a profile for a reason. Yeah. And if the first thing, to me, this is how I see it. Like, I wrote something along something for a reason, and if you can't even read that, if you can't show that you are interested in something that I wrote, and the first thing that you want to compliment, the first thing you want to do is just say something about that, then I mean, I would still engage, but it would be like, you would have to build some level of trust. Like, where are we going with this? What type of conversations are we going to have going from here? So that's something I appreciated about Chaz. And so we dove into like 2 weeks of just writing. And at the time, I would look forward to those messages because I was right. We were both writing like books, but I think it was a 2 week period that we were just writing. We didn't exchange phone numbers yet, and we didn't have a phone conversation, and we didn't give out our information to chat offline. But like in those 2 weeks, we really took the time to get to know one another, to build rapport, to talk about family and stuff like that. And after 2 weeks, I had to throw the digits because it's like, okay, now we've been talking for 2 weeks now. Oh yes, I did. First. Yes, all 10 digits. And she called me. Yeah. How about that? Isn't God good? She called me, and I was actually hanging out with some friends at the time.
When I called him, I'll never forget the butterflies in my tummy. So he didn't answer. So I left a voicemail, and I got to hear his voice for the first time.
It was all smooth.
I just remember
very white.
Oh my gosh, this is what he sounds like. Like, oh, he sounds like so nice, and I don't know. So anyway, I just
so
I left him a voicemail. And share your part. Like, what did you do when you got that voicemail, sir? Because you got some confessing.
I was really excited to hear from her and to know that she had called. Because I don't think you gave me your number. I think you just called me. Yeah. So I saw, on your phone it says it's from, Minneapolis, but she had a South Dakota number, so it said South Dakota. So I knew it was her. So I was in the movies with some friends, because typically on Sundays we would go and hang out before the long and hectic week. So I remember sitting in the movies, and the movie was starting, and I took my phone out, and I like put it under like my shirt and then put it over my ear, and I was listening to her. I think I listened to it maybe 2 or 3 times.
Oh, I did not know that.
I had to see what you sounded like. I had to make sure.
I did not know that.
and I was mainly listening also for an accent, because she had mentioned that she was from South Dakota, and I'm like, oh, okay. I wonder how South Dakotans sound, because I know in the South we have. She does. You heard it early in the video when she said root, but she said root. But anyways, you'll hear it. So I wanted to hear it, but I didn't hear it. So I figured like, well, maybe she doesn't have a Midwestern South Dakotan accent. But I think we talked that Monday. Yeah. So we
FaceTimed?
No, we didn't FaceTime yet. I think we FaceTimed later on that week. That was the first time we had FaceTimed. Because she wanted to make sure that I wasn't catfishing her. You women, I tell you, you know what you're doing. You're trying to make sure that you're protecting yourself, which is good. But yeah, so I called her. Did I call you? Yeah, I think I called her that next day. And again, like we had to make things work, and communication was like really big in our relationship, because I was working at the time 3:30 to midnight, and she was working a regular 8 to 5. And
then plus I was 1 hour behind you.
She was 1 hour behind, and she worked a part-time job as well. So. You'll hear more about our relationship in another video, especially about how we didn't kiss until we got married.
Oh,
that's gonna be a good one.
Teaser.
But yeah, so we ended up talking and on the phone, and then that was the rest is history. So that is how we met.
Yeah.
We met on Christian Mingle. So for those of you that are considering online dating, I say it was a great choice.
And
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so we're gonna talk about more about our online dating, profiles, how we kind of approach things, what tips that we can maybe give you guys. That's going to be in a later on video. So, yeah.
And if you have any questions about online dating, you're nervous to do it, or you know, you may have a certain question about it, like, feel free to leave us a comment down in the comments below, and we will write you, or we may highlight your question in another video and talk about it more in depth if it needs that type of attention. But yeah, we are glad. Well, I'm glad that I met Chaz. We started out online, and 2 years later we were married, which is a huge blessing, because I never thought at all that I would go online and find my wife, and you know, and now we have a daughter too, 8 months. So God is good. Christian Mingle is good. So I can see you now. A lot of you guys are wanting to go on Christian Mingle to see what all the hype is about. Tell them Devin sent you. Yeah. But thanks so much again, guys, for coming and watching our video. Be sure to subscribe down below. Be sure to hit the notification bell so that you can receive notifications when we upload. We're going to be uploading once a week, and we want you to see it. So, we'll see you in the next video.